This program brought to you by Brewski's Bar and Grill, located in Utica, Minnesota. Your one-stop shop for delicious burgers, fries, pizzas, and more.
Welcome to Sports Back Talk with Boley and Ringer.
Fix my hair.
Fix your hair. Put my hat on so I don't have to worry about that. So football weekend, and let's start there. And I first want to go out and I want to make my public
apology.
Not apology. My acknowledgement that I blew it on Coach's Corner Saturday morning because I said that the San Diego Chargers would definitely beat the New England Patriots, and that would be the end of Tom Brady. Still might be the end of Tom Brady, but I didn't get to watch the game, but it must have been ugly from the word go.
I did two bad things. Okay. I went against you know what I feel like about Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
I'm one of the few people that, and I'll go forever, he's the best coach ever in any sport. Okay. And I went against him because I fell for what San Diego did to Baltimore.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
It's kind of like how the Vikings dominated New Orleans last year in the playoffs, and then the Vikings defense showed the signs of weakness that everybody took, or New Orleans took advantage of last year, Philadelphia took advantage of last year, and then the rest of the NFL took advantage of this year. It's a good defense, but not a shutdown defense.
Okay.
Anyways, I'll never go against Belichick and the Patriots ever again.
Okay, before we leave the Belichick and San Diego Chargers, I got on my phone, I get something that's called the News Republic. I don't know if anybody else gets it, but about 8 times a day there's a little news feed flash. Something happened. Well, this guy apparently was out there, and his thing was that New England was stealing the defensive signs from San Diego, that they were cheating again and blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they didn't really have any proof to this, but did you see anything yesterday that might...
Not at all, and I watched all the pundits and all that. I don't know how you could steal defensive signs.
Well, they put the things up here, I mean...
Unless somebody was leaking it on the
unless they were stealing the...
San Diego Chargers coaching staff.
Would that be beneath the Patriots to do something like that?
Well, they try to take advantage. They try to get the advantage on their side. And I've always, when I played hockey, I was always told if I wasn't cheating, I wasn't working hard enough.
They won't be able to cheat in Kansas City next week, though, will they?
No, they shouldn't. If Kansas City, they'll think that they're just going to come in and run all over the Patriots, they're sadly mistaken. I don't see Kansas City beating the Patriots.
No?
No. God. I am just so convinced that nobody puts a game plan together better than Bill Belichick. It's been proven time in and time out.
They had 2 weeks to get ready for this last one, and they've already played each other. The Chiefs and the Patriots, 43-40. You might remember, I guess, Monday night, right?
Yeah, it was a fun game to watch.
One of those games that. I don't know, there was something going on at home on a Monday night, and I got home, it was already the second half by the time I got home, and then basically couldn't leave the TV, as I recall.
What, you got Kansas City winning that? You do, don't you?
Kansas City.
Drinking the Kool-Aid, aren't you?
Yes, I am going with Kansas City. Kids pressed me at school today, and I'm going with the Kansas City Chiefs.
What do you mean they pressed you at school?
They made me make a decision. Who are you picking, Mr. Ringhofer? And then held the proverbial gun to my head and made me pick.
Did you give them the mathematical reason why they were going to win?
I went right from here.
The heart?
Yeah. Who I want to win.
So much for math. When it comes to real decisions, fuck it. We go
So if you were out in Vegas, which you're not going to be.
No. Well,
we should do a show in Vegas someday. But anyways,
we should do a show in Vegas someday. But
KCC TV will take care of that. Okay. I figure the line is 3.5 Kansas City.
Okay.
In other words, they're favored by 3.5 points.
You figure by the time Sunday rolls around, it's going to be down to about...
Probably be at 3, but I figure, you always figure 3 points for the home team.
Right.
Okay, that game's at 3.5, so right now they're saying Kansas City's a half a point better. And the other game, it's exactly 3. In other words, they're saying that one's a pick-em. The Los Angeles New Orleans game. So if you were out in Vegas, sitting poolside at the Caesars Palace, and you had a honeybee in your pocket, and you said, I'm going to go put this down on a team, which team would you put it on?
To win it all?
No,
or
just
this week?
this weekend.
If I only could pick one of the 4 teams to put my money on,
You're betting 2 games. You're betting half a Honeybee there, and you're betting another half a Honeybee there.
taking the Kansas City Chiefs minus.
You're laying the 3.5.
Still, I'm not worried about the 3.5 points.
Okay.
I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a 6, 7, 8 point game, 1 touchdown, one way or the other. I mean, to me, that's who I think is going to win, and I'm taking the Rams. I
like the Rams.
I still think New Orleans showed that they were not that the Rams didn't. But what I loved about the Rams was that they took it to Dallas. Dallas's defense, blah blah blah, and all this other stuff, and they can do this. Los Angeles just bullied them, just pushed them around. I mean, you run for what 260 yards. I don't care if you're at home, if you're on. It was amazing, and you got C.J. Anderson.
It didn't matter who was running it either.
It didn't matter who was running.
No.
That's what I'm saying about the Minnesota. That's what I keep telling you people. It's the offensive line that they were dominant. I was watching some of the highlights Saturday night, and they were showing it was like a grader pushing snow. It was just like all 5 guys. And what I really liked about it, and I don't know, I've been saying this, that on pass patterns, the Vikings put 5 guys out. They don't leave a 6th guy in to block. Maybe they leave a running back in sometimes. But what the Rams were doing was, of course, they got their 5 offensive linemen, and then they were bringing somebody in motion, and he was slamming the guy on the outside. And then they were leaving 7 guys in to block. You're sending 3 guys out on the road. Now, the Minnesota Vikings offense coordinator, I'd like you to figure that out, that you don't have to send 5 guys out into the road, especially if your offensive line's not very good. And the Rams' offensive line was playing pretty good, at least run-wise. And I think they picked up some stuff. So I really would like to see whoever is the offensive coordinator for the Vikings next year, whoever that may or may not be, I'd like them to have the consideration of keeping a 6th linebacker or a tight end and maybe a 7th guy as a tight end to stay in block. And if that means Kyle Rudolph has got to go stand on the sidelines for a couple of plays, then so be it. So that we've got somebody in there who can block.
Yeah, and Rudolph, I mean, I don't know how much value he has. I get it. You know, he's all pro, a nice guy, but the guy, he's a tight end. Can you go over and bowl someone over?
Yeah.
He goes down easier than I would have at 100.
He's a house of cards.
Oh, senior year, 150 pounds. I would have gone through guys better than he does, and he's 225, 230.
So you've got the Rams and the Patriots.
Yeah.
And I've got the Rams and the Chefs going for it here in 3 weeks in the Super Bowl.
And we got time on our next show to discuss the Super Bowl because we'll actually have the winners in our hands.
Yeah.
And
So we'll have that.
we'll have a big show for that Super Bowl week, not next Monday, but the following Monday because they take 2 weeks off.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of time to digest it and get sick and tired of listening.
Good fun, though. I love the NFC. Got together with a group of guys, and we had a good time on Saturday watching the Chiefs game. And then, of course, me and Diana sat together and enjoyed the Sunday games.
You forced her into that?
No, she didn't watch. She hates football.
Oh, Diana,
I know.
That hurts.
You know,
How'd your fantasy team do?
we won. So I made the Final Four. I had Sony Mitchell, who did pretty doggone well, and I ended up having Phillip Rivers, who didn't have a great game, but fantasy-wise, he had 3 touchdowns and 350, so that accumulates points in a hurry.
Sure.
And so my boys showed up. They all played well, and there's a Final Four. It's us and Logan Johnson, Mark Corbett's team, and then
Bush?
Troy Bush. Todd Bush is gone.
Really?
Yeah, regular season champ. Now we know it's all luck when he won that. You know, and he was supposed to meet me at an establishment, and he went to Bemidji.
Hey, that was a good place to be. That's where I was over the weekend. Matter of fact,
How'd that go?
It went well.
Any big family fights or anything?
No, actually, there were none. That was kind of surprising. It wasn't a battle royal, somebody getting mad at each other, but everybody behaved themselves. We got some swimming and card playing and all that other stuff.
What's the card game of preference?
We play a game that's called Progressive Rummy.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter how many players you have. You could have 3 or up to 10 if you needed to, but Progressive Rummy and...
Funsies?
Huh?
Funsies?
Funsies?
Or did you play for some cash?
Oh yeah, just for fun. We never Never for money.
That's why it
just for bragging
stays
rights,
civilized,
barking
yeah.
at your partner. And then
Yeah.
we played Sequence, the board
Oh.
game Sequence, and then we played Yahtzee because Charlotte wanted to play Yahtzee.
Okay, answer me this, Yahtzee boy. This is, okay.
This is gonna go bad.
Your first roll.
Yep.
We'll see if you know anything about Yahtzee. You should,
I should.
because it still is a
It's all
mathematical
probability,
game.
baby. Yeah.
Okay, the number 1, 3, 4, 5, 6 gets rolled.
Yep.
So in other words, you don't have a pair of anything. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6 gets rolled. What do you keep?
Well, I'm keeping the 3, 4, 5, 6 because that's a small straight, and I'll take my chances that I'm going to roll the deuce with that 1
Okay.
to make my chances 1 out of 6.
This is why, I mean, you're a great math teacher, but this is why you couldn't compete at upper echelon Yahtzee.
Because
You keep the 3, 4, 5,
and roll 2 dice. So
roll
that
2 die and try to get that open-ended, try to shake a 2, and the odds of you getting a 6 are pretty good anyways. Well, 1 and
So-
6. So, no, actually better than that. But, so what I do is I always keep the 3, 4, 5,
Yep.
and try to shake the 2 die and get a 2 and get it open-ended.
Okay.
And that way I got a 1 or a 6 if I get it
So-
open-ended.
so
Now
if
I
you
just increased my chances to 33%,
33%.
right?
How'd you figure that?
Well, now I've got 2 of 6,
Right.
right? 2, 3, 4, 5, so I got a 1 or a 6, now all of a sudden,
But you only got 1 shake to get it in.
Yeah.
I had 2 shakes to only get 1. So
oh, you still got
I
the 1, yeah. But anyways, for all you Yahtzee people out there, just do it Bully's way. If you get the 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, always just keep the 3, 4, 5 open. Try to open yourself up to the open-ended.
You may be right. It may work for him. I don't know. He's a Vegas high roller. So what can I say? Let's. I do want to mention to finish the Bemidji thought.
Yeah.
That as I looked out my window, out the hotel window, I could see where they're going to be playing Hockey Day in Minnesota. I could see the outdoor rink.
Oh.
Just off of the lake.
Lake Bemidji, right?
Off Lake Bemidji there. In
Did you stay
between-
at the place where they got the green mill?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
nice
stayed at
place.
the Doubletree.
Yep.
And so, so you can see the Sanford Center, and it's in between the Sanford Center and the Green Mill, if you know where those places are, in Bemidji. And they got all the TV booths up, and everything's ready to roll. So
And that's this weekend.
that's this coming Saturday, and it's going to be, well, as you may know, it's going to be colder than out there. And,
it's gonna be
they're
real
gonna-
cold.
They're going to, yeah,
I'll still say the coldest one was the first one when they had it in Badet.
over in Badet.
That was like 38 below. I remember the Dohertys were there from out the lake. Billy's dad and Billy's uncle, and they were all sitting in. They didn't go outside. They were sitting in the VFW having some toddies and talking hockey.
So if International Falls were ever to get this,
Yeah, it's
and it should be considered, I think. Would they try to play it out on the lake out by Thunderbird, or would they try to put something up in town where maybe over like, well, they already got the rink over there by Cary Park. You could put the stands up around that. What would be the preferred way of doing Hockey Day in Minnesota?
I do.
International.
You know, I do have an answer for this.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I'm going to tell you why.
That's even better. I love a reason
We were
why.
close. There was some committees getting built, led by Sean Mason, and there was discussions, early preliminary discussions of getting the game here.
Yeah.
And it isn't easy, but it was doable, and I think we had the history to get it.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, some things changed, and we quit pursuing it. I wasn't on any committee or anything, but I liked the idea, and I told them I would help. Here's where I believe, not saying I'm right, I would have had it at Smoky Bear Park, near the stands there.
Yeah.
You got 2, I don't know what's in those bathrooms now, but those used to be locker rooms. Okay. It also is where Tim Sheehy grew up and played hockey as a kid.
Well, they used to play football in that area.
Exactly. So I just think downtown, the whole area is perfect. We do parking and stuff like that for all the time for the 4th of July and the bass tournament. So it's always a grooming ground. Yeah, it would be nice on the lake, but I say right there.
Does this have a possible, and I'm not trying to down this at all, people, but is this a detriment to us getting Hockey Day in
I think
Minnesota?
it's an
That it's
asset.
that it's Icebox Days the same exact weekend every year, and that in order to be able to do Hockey Day in Minnesota, Icebox Days would
That would be more of a reason.
more
to
of
do
a
it.
reason, you think,
Yeah,
not less of a reason.
we want more
Okay.
people from out of town coming to our area, and what better way to do it than promote our Icebox Days during Hockey Day Minnesota? It's a natural fit. I just hope maybe someday somebody brings it back up again. I do believe, though, we need to build our hockey program up. Again, a lot of that has to do with the amount of kids we have in our town. So we need more kids. Okay, comes to that.
Yes, I'm not sure.
But I think it would be a natural fit, and I think Trish Heibel down at the Chamber, who does a wonderful job, by the way, I think she would just love the idea of putting hockey
somebody
around
to
this.
spearhead that. And
Yeah.
I'm volunteering. I'm going to nominate Mike Bolston to become a part of that thing. So I will say that it is Icebox Days. We'll do the little proposal.
Let's do it.
Starts on Thursday. There's a cornhole tournament at the Viking Bar on Thursday night at 7. And they've also have got a movie night at the library. And of course, you know that the weather is supposed to start turning nasty
On Thursday.
Thursday it's supposed to start getting cold. And of course, they're going to have live music out here on Friday and Saturday night.
Yeah.
Usually
Billy
do the show,
Pekarsky, the Ambush Band, Little Darwins. These are good bands.
Okay.
They can play. Okay, so Friday night at 7 o'clock and 7 o'clock on Saturday, they're going to have live bands here at Looney's Brew. Come on
Of course,
out.
they're going to have the canoe race out here on Sunday.
Yes, are we in?
Woo!
You know, if me and you could just do the pushing and the pulling and didn't have to get in and drag the canoe down, it might work. Okay.
What time is it at? I'm going to ask again because
It should be on Sunday.
it's on Sunday down here. Sorry. Canoe 1 to 3 o'clock. Well, you know it starts at 2:10, don't you?
Well, I guarantee you, we come out here, Matt and Paul will put
They'll have
that
it on the TV.
They'll put it on the TV. Absolutely.
Boy, we may have.
Maybe we should come out as guests, and since they treat us so well, maybe we should just come out and say hi.
do what
Yeah, we aren't going to get in it. Because I like to win at things I do. There's no way I could win that event.
I believe that you want to win. I just
Yeah.
that's the way it is with cards.
Although I did go to state and canoe.
I will say this: we're playing sequence. I told you on Saturday.
That'll be another
night.
sport we add to the Falls High curriculum. Canoeing.
on Saturday night, and of course, you know the one-eye jacks remove in sequence, and the two-eye jacks are wild. So my wife's sitting right to where you're sitting, and of course, we're just about ready to put the chokehold on the match, and back-to-back round, she comes up with the jacks, and I'm like, okay, so it can't be a third. She won't get a third one. Guess who comes up with a third one? And then she wonders why I'm angry, why I'm upset.
You should be happy for her.
For her?
Yes.
For her winning.
Well, that's
You crazy?
how my
You just said you
relationship
wanna win
is.
in everything, and
Well,
you-
when it comes to my wife, that's a little different. She wins. She will win every time. You got to learn that.
Anyway, let's talk about the Wild, because that's not going to make me mad, but I know who it could make us. Why are you mad at the Wild?
I'm not mad at them. Did I say anything bad about them? I made one comment on Twitter World.
Yep, you did.
Just one.
One.
I said this is who they are.
This is who they are.
And these optimistic Wild fans, I feel so bad for them. I don't even watch them anymore. I can't watch them. And they get all excited, and I said, this is their team. This is who they are. They're an overaged, overpaid group of players. And they got to move them, and Fenton will be doing that. I would say come early part of February, players will start to be getting moved. And Fenton knows what he wants to do and knows he wants to move. And Coyle, Nino.
We're upset about the one game against Detroit.
Not upset. It's just what's so predictable. Like tonight, Philadelphia's won 1 game in 10.
Yeah.
The Wild
are gonna
will
win.
not win this
Wild
game.
will
The
not
Wild will not win. I will bet you a beverage next week, right now.
Fair enough.
You in?
I'm in. I'm in.
Lorna, did you
We
hear
probably
that?
won't remember that.
I say the Wild lose to Philadelphia last
I
night
say-
because that's their makeup. Philadelphia's won 1 game in 10. This
So
is
you
this
gotta
is who they
remember that we
lose
got a
to.
bet.
Yes.
Next week when we come. So they've got 3 other games, all at home this week in preparation for upcoming.
And all winnable games.
All winnable games.
Yeah.
And so
2-2.
in these 8 points, they got 8 points.
They need all 8, but they'll go 2-2.
2-2.
Yeah. That's
They'll
what they
lose
are.
tonight, and then they win 2 out of 3. at home.
That's who they are, Ringer. You know, it's just so difficult to comprehend. And I mean, not only did they get beat by Detroit, they got dominated. by Detroit.
Did I see this? I'm asking
That
you because I
Corsi
didn't look it up.
stuff? Oh,
There was a guy who got a hat trick for Detroit.
Yeah.
Was it actually his first 3 goals of the season?
Bertuzzi, and he's related to Todd Bertuzzi, the ex-Detroit Red Wing guy, yeah. And the other 2 were scored by Thomas Vanek.
Oh!
Yeah.
Ish.
I mean, the guy once in a while will score a couple goals, but he will cost your team more goals than what he adds. But I couldn't believe, because a buddy of mine, Dan, you know Dan, the Richter guy?
Yeah.
He always gives me a hard time because I was harder on Vanek than I was on Coyle, believe it or not.
Yes,
I
I
wanted
believe that.
Vanek out on a one-way ticket. Eventually they bought him out, but of course he had to throw a few jabs at me, and I took him with a grain of salt.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's fair enough.
Yeah.
What else you want to talk about with the Wild, or the NHL in particular?
NHL, Islanders beat Tampa Bay last night, which was kind of surprising, 5-1, dominated them.
So that just proves the point that I want to say.
No, it
is
doesn't
that
prove
anybody on any
No.
given night, anybody can beat anybody in the NHL.
Islanders have
In
won 7 of 8.
The NFL, anybody can beat anybody.
Well, they can. I mean, that's very possible.
So when you're saying that the Wild played poorly against Detroit, every once in a while, the blind squirrel finds an acorn. Right?
Yeah, but you're kind of made up of the same blood as I am. Okay, there's no excuse for a night off.
No, and I know
There
that's
really
where you're
is.
going.
Okay, and too many times, I don't know why. I mean, they don't get the elite levels that they get to because they don't work hard. Because everyone that gets there work their tails off. But when you watch stuff like that, you kind of wonder.
So
You're not going to get me all negatory here. Okay.
So-
Remember, I got chewed out. I don't want to do 2 shows this week. I'm
we're already going to see each other 4 out of 6 nights this week, so
Yeah.
you don't need to make it 5 on it. Anywho, so everybody can have an off night, right? Can't they? I mean, no, but
Off night's fine.
but not effort-wise.
Not effort-wise. You can never, ever take a night off. I'm sorry. Not happening.
Okay.
Okay, and whether you're mentally or physically off, there's no excuse for either, because mental preparation is as big a part of the game as physical preparation. I mean, you got to go into the game saying, I got to work hard, we got to win, and there's no other alternative. That's what we're going to do, work hard and win. Now, I used to have a saying right here.
Okay. Used to. You mean you got?
I still do. I believe this. You work hard, okay, you win,
and then it's fun.
and then you have fun. In that order. The reason you work hard, if you work hard, you're going to win, or it gives yourself a better chance of winning. And at the end of the 3, I had fun. Now, I'm not saying that for a 10-year-old or 12-year-old, but anything, band them on up, work hard, okay, win, and have fun. Not win first, win's the second.
Well, not having fun first. How about that?
Well, the fun part is winning. Don't get me wrong. Believe me, a lot of coaches get fired because the team isn't having fun, because when you have fun, that means you're winning. So coaches are getting canned every day.
But people want to have fun first at the levels you were talking about.
Yeah, at that age, you better be having fun because, yeah. I'm talking real young. I mean,
Yeah,
we're talking 14.
I'm talking high school now. I see a
No.
lot of coaches saying, well, we're going to have fun
No.
first. And yeah, I
They're at the age now, they understand the difference. You tell a kid at 16, 17 years old who's ultra competitive, well, first of all, I just want you to make sure you have fun. No, he's not buying it. All right?
I agree. He shouldn't be.
I mean, fun's going to be a result. I mean, at the end of the day, okay. But you know, your alternative as I used to always say, if your main objective is having fun, you've already given yourself an excuse to lose. What do you think?
Yeah.
A little tough, a little tight, a little
Yeah,
tough.
it's a little tough. You got me. You got me hook, line, and sinker.
Okay.
I'm a believer. You said we were cut out of the same. What'd you say earlier? We're kind of made of the same blood.
I mean, you open yourself up to parenting complaints right there. I mean, but
Absolutely. So, where was I going to go next?
I don't know. Sorry, I threw you off.
The Timberwolves, new head coach.
Ooh, big
Ryan
game tonight.
Saunders. Big game tonight.
You know, they're playing.
Are they playing Philly tonight?
Yeah.
That's-
Both teams are in Philly, so that means both teams are going to get bottles thrown at them on their way to the game.
I suspect so. I did not realize the Timberwolves were in Philly tonight. I
Yeah.
submit to that.
Yeah.
So is Jimmy going to play?
Oh yeah. Oh boy, I don't know. I mean, I've been reading a lot on him too from Philadelphia writers. They all want him out of there.
Well, yeah, because he's disagreeing with. He basically told the coach, "I don't think you got the right offensive system."
The coach gave him a break by saying he didn't say it, but who knows?
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler is Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler is Jimmy Butler. So I'm going to say that he plays,
Okay.
but he doesn't play very well.
And I don't think it'll be an issue.
Okay.
When he comes to Mini,
It's going to be different.
it's going to be
On March
different.
30th,
He might, yeah.
when I don't get to go watch.
He'll say after the game, "I never heard him one time," but he'll be lying. He won't be having very
So
much
who wins
fun.
tonight? Sixers or the Wolves on the road?
Sixers.
Sixers. See, he is an NBA fan.
I live in Minnesota. Okay.
Keep playing that card. Well, George and I, who just came in a little bit.
George Frake. Yeah.
George Frake.
When are you going to have him on as a guest?
We should have him on.
Yeah.
Yes. And his good buddy Randy Anderson are over here joining to come out to enjoy the show. And George and I did Coach's Corner from Bemidji. That was the main reason why we went down. We had to go work first.
Okay.
And we got to watch some wrestling,
Okay.
which is, I know, your favorite sport.
I'm not going to put it down because George is here right now. I already told Paul. I said, I guarantee, don't bring up wrestling, Paul, because I'm not saying.
And
Thing is, one of the most I'm gonna stand up for George. When I was in high school, I went to a match, and Warren Balcom was wrestling. Remember Warren?
Oh, very well.
Yeah, and he was up against the best wrestler in the state. And I don't know if he beat him, but this guy had 10 matches, 10 pins. And Warren stuck right with him. And after the match, our whole hockey team was there and the whole basketball team. Everybody showed up to watch other teams.
Yeah.
And we stood up and gave Warren a standing ovation.
And well deserved to do it.
Yes, he was. And Gary, his brother, was a heck of an athlete, wide receiver. But Warren wrestled and he played good, solid football. I think he was a center. No, that was Morph was a center, but he was a good offensive lineman. But I'll never forget that. So, and watching those guys come in the swimming pool while we're swimming, and they got their sweat gear on and trying to lose, like little Jimmy Levine, he's like 110 pounds. He's trying to make the 108. It's like, come on. You know.
yeah,
So.
the old days. When
Yeah.
it was a little
Yeah, they won't let them do that
Yeah,
now.
they don't do that anymore.
No.
So the question that I wanted to ask was that the Gophers were wrestling Iowa at noon on the Big Ten Network, and the Chargers in New England were playing.
I would watch Gophers, Iowa every day of the week.
That's the right answer.
Ain't that right, Paul?
So I want to ask George, who are you watching?
I was watching a young man named Gable Stevenson.
Yeah.
He is the heavyweight from the University
I
of
hear-
Minnesota, a four-time state champion. He's ranked number 2. He's undefeated all season. He's a true freshman. They showed him doing backflips coming off the mat when he won his 4th state title. This guy is a real legitimate athlete. He's as good a wrestling phenom as I've seen in many years.
Here's the deal. There's a big article on the Minneapolis Trib on him this weekend. I don't know if you saw it.
No, I did not, but
Yes.
I saw him
Now,
wrestle.
his first name's Gable. Did his dad named him after the...
Dan Gable.
There you go.
Yeah, no, Dan Gable.
He was born and his dad says you're going to wrestle.
They interviewed the kid. He says, well, "What do you have in mind?" He says, "Stay focused and be a national champion." That's all I ever had in mind. That's
Did the
all I-
Gophers beat Iowa?
Did
No,
not.
they lost.
That's-
to them,
24-10 was the final?
It wasn't on account of Gable's.
No, he did his thing.
He really did his thing.
I will say this about Gable Stevenson, heavyweight from Minnesota, in case you're not hearing all the conversation. But when they wrestled Rutgers 2 weekends ago, when Mike was giving me whatever, if you see him
Yes.
basically dribbling
Yes.
the guy's head from Rutgers, because the guy from Rutgers, who he was wrestling, basically had given up. And so he actually took his head and he was bouncing it like a basketball off the
Looking
court.
around.
It was just like, come on. He was like begging him, fight me, wrestle me, do something. And like, come on, come on, come on. And he was actually dribbling his head. And then the guy just sat there and took it. And I'm just like,
Would that be putting salt in the wound
that
a
could be a
little?
little salt in the wound.
was.
Yeah.
And I think he was trying to say, come on, let's give
I
him a
can't. I'm
show.
not going to get better if you don't wrestle me.
There you go.
There
that's,
we
a,
go.
that's a great
Well,
way.
no, baseball would be like don't walk.
Yeah.
Be a chance to hit.
Yep.
Or you could just beat them. That's a lot quicker, one pitch. Well, now they don't even pitch.
Iowa has the #1 heavyweight, and he wanted him in, but he got sick or hurt or whatever.
Oh, really?
Nobody wondered maybe he wanted to put up his record when it comes to seat time. I mean,
Ooh,
It's going
interesting.
to be fun when the big
Or maybe
games
didn't want to show him too much.
yeah, but that's. Yeah.
But I think if he better be injured, that's all I got to say. Yeah.
Well,
What else we got?
I think, well, Iowa had the match in the bag, so sometimes you let things happen. I don't know, what else do you got?
Q&A. I mean, this has been a pretty good show. I have no complaints.
I do want to make one quick mention. You and I were together last Thursday night over in Fort Francis doing a girls' hockey game.
Yeah.
I just have to say, you know, I do lots of games, whatever. But Thursday night's game, I don't know what it was. If maybe you can help me kind of put my finger on it. What was it about that game that was just so enjoyable? Was it just because the two teams were playing for the 5th time? The Fort Francis Muskie girls were playing St. Thomas Aquinas for the 5th time. They knew each other. It was just like it was kind of like you show me something and I come back the other way and I show you. I don't know. It was a lot of fun.
I think my take on it, watching even the girls Bronco team playing against Duluth Marshall, I think the physical end of the game where the refs pretty much let them play, and as long as it's not overexerting, they can rub each other out even to a fact where they even let a little bit of hitting go.
Right.
I think that's really encouraged the girls to play aggressive and play hard. And I think that happened a lot in the Fort Francis game, and it happened in the Duluth Marshall game. That game got a little dicey at times, but I think it's very enjoyable to watch because I always look at the girls' game and it's just always ever improving.
Yeah, and is it, you know, if it's an 11-0 game where the two teams are totally disproportionate and they shouldn't be doing that to each other, but the two teams we watched, and like you mentioned, even though the Broncos got beat 4-0,
it was competitive though.
They were hanging in there. It was a game where if they'd gotten a bounce or two their way, it might be a different outcome. So it's very enjoyable. But I want to make mention of it here. And
good job.
All right, what do you got for us, Paul?
He's got a list. We're in trouble.
Most memorable SNL skit.
Ooh.
SNL skit?
Ooh.
Anything with Chris Farley in it, I would say Down by the River. Yeah, man, Down by the River. I love Chris Farley, and so I would say Chris Farley skit.
The Man Down by the River. There's some Eddie Murphy stuff that are classics. Obviously, there's lots of classics. But today I have my music on my computer, and one of the things one of the kids shared with me way back when was Will Ferrell doing Harry Carey. And when he was doing the year in review of 1997, and Norm Macdonald had been hosted, and Colin Quinn came on, and Will basically says, "Hey Norm, did you put on weight?" And the whole place just lost it because they couldn't believe what he was talking about, and he talked about hot dogs being currency, and it was hilarious. I probably have listened to it 100 times, and I'm still there correcting papers, and I was giggling underneath it. I don't know if somebody would have walked in what they would have thought, what are you doing, but it was humorous. So yeah, Will Ferrell, lots of good stuff. Yeah,
Will Ferrell's awesome. Good
I always like the Chevy Chase kind of deal, or Steve Martin, the Too Wild and Crazy Guys.
Too Wild and Crazy Guys, absolutely.
Dan Aykroyd, the Fisherman.
Oh yeah, they were ahead of their time, no doubt.
Guys or Samurai Delicatessen.
Yeah, Belushi, good stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Number 2 is History on Tap. What topic would you like discussed?
Ooh, wow. The question is for History on Tap here that they had last Thursday. What topic would you like? Wow. Jeez, that's a.
Go ahead.
I don't even know what that's such a broad.
Could you define the question a little better?
Well, it's like what topic would you want? Like
local?
The local Cushman County sports people that went on to play in the Olympics or went on to play, professional. Or would you like to hear, I don't know, the best fisherman in town, or?
I'd like to hear more about how the dam was built.
Okay.
I think that would be very interesting to me, with the fact that it had a lock in it that was never really used a whole bunch. Why and all that. I'd love to know more about the dam, why it was selected, where it went in, and those kinds of things. I would think that would be very, to me, that would be really interesting.
I've heard technically or legally, if you go to the dam and you want to get to the river, you call an Alberta, they have to do it because they never finished the lot.
Wow. John.
Well, another part too is, we're called International Falls, and also a lot of people ask me, well, where are the falls at? We've never seen them. I understand they are there, but one thing I do want to mention about the falls is when anybody says the falls,
You get angry?
it's right here. It's not little, Chippewa Fall. It's always, all you gotta do is mention the falls, and they all know it's International Falls. So we are the falls. What do you think of that history?
I agree with you 100%. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah,
And
right?
you grew up here and I didn't, so that.
So
that
there's
gives you
probably more
more-
of a reason.
You got more
Yeah.
power to that.
Yeah.
All right, Paul, what do you got next?
All right, so Icebox Days is coming up.
Uh-oh.
So, what event would you like to see that maybe has happened in the past, or what event haven't you seen that you would like to have happen?
Should I go there?
Yeah.
I want to see curling on the ice out here in Rainier. That was the one that he said he wants to get started.
I actually participated in it at 11th Street Rink before Cary Park was there. They had it. I curled with, and she curled a lot, was Carol Dalton. She
Really?
used to work
I
at
did not know that.
First National Bank at one time, and then, of course, John's wife and Charlie and John's mom, and she taught me a little bit about curling. So I kind of agree with you. I think curling's a natural fit.
And like I said, whether it be
We use
curling out
pails
here
full of
or-
ice.
Yeah, or something along that line. I'd like to, that would probably be, I'm a curling person. Matter of fact, curling, the high school kids from the Canadian side had their qualifier in Fort Francis, and I just didn't get over there last night. I should have just sucked it up. I was exhausted.
Well, how about this? They play boot hockey, right? Now, why
Yeah.
not play basketball outside?
Interesting.
So no
Interesting.
horseshoe with toilet bowls, toilet bowl rims.
Oh, we got turkey toss and we got schmoosh. I mean, we don't need any of that.
Okay.
Plus, it's kind of
We talked
gross.
about Minnesota and Iowa tonight?
Can we talk about Minnesota?
Yeah, we sure can, for George. Why would I deny you of that
No,
right?
I'm just saying is it's a big game, and Lindsey
got-
Whalen is ripping it up.
And Gustafson is gonna, from Iowa, from South Shore in Wisconsin. She's gonna have a monster night. The Gophers are gonna get beat.
Where's it at? Iowa City?
It's at Williams Arena. I say the Gophers lose by at least a dozen tonight.
That's what I needed from you.
That's my prediction.
What's the?
The Gophers looked good during the pre-Big Ten season, and just like the men's team, once the Big Ten season comes, they.
I say after losing 2 there at home, Lindsey Whalen gets ready. Gophers win. It's my team. Can I say that's my girls?
That's my girls.
I say that not as a. I always say that's my boys all the time.
Yes,
So
yes, you do.
in this aspect,
Well, are you gonna make a
go
prediction?
Gophers.
Well, no, I just think it's going to be a real lip ripper, and they're going into Williams Arena, and there's a packed house
Yeah.
there with Iowa, and there's going to be a revenge notion because Iowa ripped up our boys and the rest of the team. I don't know. But I'd like to see Lindsey squeak one by, and who knows, a twisted ankle here, and there you are.
No,
Yeah,
there's
that absolutely could happen. I sure hope the Gophers would win, but I'm not holding much hope.
they better be
What else you got, George?
they better be playing good
One
defense.
question, I was taking a look at how do you beat New England, and
Get them away from home where they can't cheat.
Well, yeah, whatever it is, make sure the balls are inflated. But after that, do you think? I mean,
George said the balls would have to be inflated in case you didn't hear him.
Kansas City has a couple of really good defensive end rushers, and they have a linebacker really good. I mean, these guys are leading the league in sacks, and they're all over. And I remember Denver a couple of years ago doing the same thing, and they were 6 or 8 point underdogs. The Pats came in, the defensive ends went nuts, and
The Patriots
Denver
went home.
wound up winning the game. And I'm wondering if that couldn't happen again.
I've already said that the Kansas City is going to win. They're 3.5 point favorites. You said right, and I still think I'll give anybody the points, and I'll still think Kansas City. I think Kansas City wins and by 6, 7, 8 points.
Well, see, that's,
Bowie wants the points.
Bowie
But
wants
anyways,
the
to answer your question, what does Melvin Ingram play for San Diego?
well, I don't know. He's a
Probably the best linebacker in football. How about Joey Bosa? One of the best defensive ends in San Diego?
Yeah.
Defensive end, linebacker. Ringing a bell here, George?
You know, I am, but I'm just saying.
It's all about schemes, and you know football better than I do. Schemes are what makes Bill Belichick, preparation. He will figure out a way to take care of those defensive ends and the linebacker because their secondary is putrid. Okay, Marcus Peters will keep to leave 32, 33. He's lost a step, and then there are other guys. New England will just sit there and James White, Dorsett,
I think
Edelman.
They got to get a running game to top that off because they can run against that defense.
They can.
But
So
if they start to have to rely on passing because they're behind, or Kansas City throws aside on
ball control too. I think New England has to control the ball. That's why the running game is so crucial. Yeah.
So what's the over/under, by the way, on the
57 or 56 in both games.
I would take. I'll take the over in both.
Why are you? Because we're doing a game on Saturday. That's the only reason you're not going to Vegas. Because you belong in Vegas, my friend.
I'd be betting my brains out on the over. Oh my lord! I got a C-note over here that's burning a hole in my pocket right now. That I would be. Wow. Randy, what do you got?
What happened to Larry?
What happened to Larry?
The guy that invented the National Football Playoff. The Dr. Pepper guy.
You're right. You're right. The Dr. Pepper guy. Yeah, you're right. They went with a new. They went with Fansville. Did you like Fansville?
Oh, Larry's much better.
Oh, I thought Fansville was very good as well. I agree. I liked Larry, but he's not.
I thought he was Larry the Cable Guy. That's why I thought.
No,
he was
that's where you were going.
Yeah, I'm not a big college football guy, believe it or not.
You've
that.
You've said that once
Yeah.
or twice
Yeah.
Along the way. So.
And I come in with my Army Black Knight shirt on. And I love
Well,
college.
I like the tradition of Army, but yeah. Would I watch Army Navy game on a Saturday afternoon at the end of the year? No, no interest. No.
Oh my lord.
And I'm not. I'm patriotic too,
Oh, I understand.
but I just don't get nothing out of it. You know, professional. I will watch every game if there's 12 games on, and I used to do this. I used to watch all 12, but I just don't like college football.
Well, I know Ringer watched them all. because
Well, I know,
He
he-
sent me messages.
I know.
He even conned me into going to Detroit and seeing one live.
It was my fault. Yes.
Detroit.
Well, yeah, he had to fly into Detroit and he went
Ypsilanti.
over to Ypsilanti to watch Army in Eastern Michigan.
Eastern Michigan.
This year?
Yeah.
Oh, good for you. See, Ringer, when you retire, you can
check-
start doing
start
that.
checking things off the list.
Yeah.
That's-
So instead of hanging with me, you'll be with George all the
They were
time.
11-2, took 18th in the nation for
What'd the Gophers end up? They get top 25 at the end of the year?
No, but they should have. They played really well at the end.
Yeah, well, should be fun next couple of years. We'll see what happens.
We'll see if PJ Flex.
Paul, on anything? One more question.
got one more. He's
What's
looking.
with this sign stealing? What's the big deal with that? I used to coach baseball and softball, and I tell the kids on events, see if you can see what their signs are. Keep your minds in the game.
Oh, Steven Signs.
And I understand, but if you're doing it electronically and you're stealing electronic, that's a little different. And I don't know that that's what the guy on that he was talking about. Apparently, he's not a New England Patriots fan, so he's always looking to stir the pot. I agree. If you're going through the signals out here like this, but if somebody, I don't know. I just remember. I'll talk about this. George, you remember this game, 2001. We're playing Proctor in the section semifinals in football. Excuse me, 2002, the strike year, and we're playing Proctor down at TSS, and we're calling our defense. I'm calling the defenses, and they've got like a graduate assistant sitting next to their offense coordinator, and they would wait till we called our defense. So he had them watching our defense. They knew our signals. They had been scouting our signals, and they had stole our signals. So when I started calling the defenses, they knew what defense we were going to be in, so that they could call the right offensive play.
They wouldn't do that.
So Stewart comes over and says, they're stealing your signals. And I said, how do you know? He said, well, I'll call the defense. I said, all right. So I called my defense, and the guy, he says, watch that guy right there with the hat on. And as he did that, he turned and he goes, blah, 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 like this. And then Rory Johnson, who was the offensive coordinator, called his play, and off they went. And I'm like, you dirty buggers. So then we had to come up with a scheme, and after that, we always put defensive plays on the card. and I signaled in a number, and then at halftime we changed the cards, and we.
Wow.
So you talk about stealing signs.
It's like the water.
I'm not big into that. I play the game.
Yeah, no doubt.
If you're watching the signs down here that the catcher's giving for the curveball from second base, you should turn around and get one clocked right in your bean.
Yeah,
Sorry.
agreed.
That's the way it goes.
Wow, I never knew
High
that.
school level, I don't care. You get one right in the brain.
Yeah.
Oh, where did that come from? Wow, where am I?
You're getting a little negative.
Well, I don't have to worry about my wife watching you telling me to back up.
She
wouldn't
will
take
watch
the time
it.
to watch this if I did. Did you have one more question? Yes.
One
Paul.
more question.
This will be it.
Where are you at? It kind of falls on that line. There's this general kind of philosophy going around is like, do you think that we are living in a simulation?
Ooh.
You have your Elon Musk, your Scott Adams, the creator for Dilbert, and even Stephen Hawking have theories that we potentially are living in a simulation.
Scary stuff.
Prophecy.
So we're really not here?
Well, we're here.
On a game board.
Somebody's pushing us around, manipulating.
Oh, nobody's pushing my pieces around.
Or maybe they're just letting us run wild and see what happens. It's good entertainment.
Well, I think there's a lot of people that might be.
You mean it's kind of like the old football game, the old one where you set up the things and you turn them, and they're just kind of setting us up. Each night they kind of put us into a certain thing, and then they just turn the machine on in the morning and away we go.
How about this? When you wake up from a dream, you go, oh my God, thank God that was a dream. Maybe we're just living a dream all.
Woo!
I think we're going to end our show.
Final thought. Australian Open started for first major of the year in tennis.
Yeah.
Who you got?
Andy Murray's celebratory loss today. That's all I want out of that. Andy Murray's done.
Andy Murray's done.
Davis Cup win. He won, I believe,
Wimbledon.
2 Wimbledons and a U.S. Open. Good career.
So you're not gonna. I'll tell you what, folks.
Nadal.
Next week when you come, he'll pick who he's gonna win after we get.
Yeah,
to
I
the
mean
final
we're
16. We'll pick it then.
Yeah.
No Nadal.
I like Nadal.
Icebox Daisy Ducks.
Joke. Yeah, we talked a little
We
bit
went
about
over
that.
that. Remember Looney's Brew Friday and Saturday. We'll have live bands at 7 o'clock. Show up.
Thanks everybody.
Don't take us too serious.
This program brought to you by Brewski's Bar and Grill, located in Utica, Minnesota. Your one-stop shop for delicious burgers, fries, pizzas, and more.